Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Trading Made Easy right here on YouTube. And welcome to Sunday. This is the time that I do some markup. So I wanted to do that with you. So I'm certainly glad that you found yourself here. So today we're going to mark up Euro GBP, and we'll mark up another one. So I'm just going to do two. And I'm just going to share with you how I see the market and what I look for when I'm marking up, and how I come to the determination of the position that I'm going to actually be looking at, right? And I am a trend trader for the most part, right? I do trade the trend because that is the highest quality position to be in when you are trading with the trend. So we're on the daily. So one of the first things that I'll be looking at, before I begin, what you're looking at, I'm on, of course, the TradingView platform, but this is a really cool free indicator. It's in the public library on TradingView, and as you can see, is engulfing bear, engulfing bull with the simple MA 50, right? And so this is really a cool indicator that identifies structure, and it does that in the way of the engulfing candle. Now, I personally love the engulfing candles because of it's just a very strong reversal candle. Price really responds to engulfing candles. And because I focus on structure first, before any indicators, structure first, I like this one because it's in alignment with structure, right? Now, speaking of structure, one of the first things that you want to do when you come to the charts is identify structure. That's why you don't see anything else on the chart. We're looking at price. Price is king, right? What price does is it creates structure. That's what price does. So price will move up or down to a certain degree. And then when it does that, when it repeats that the second time, meaning it moves to a certain level and it hits that same level twice, that becomes a support or resistance level. And you want to identify that. I do use horizontal lines and trend lines. They really will give you the clarity and separate what price is doing so that you can clearly see the direction price is trying to go in. So that's one of the things that I do when I'm looking at structure. Now, another thing that I would say is that do not forego the left side of current price, because that is your footsteps. That's your footprint, I should say. That's historical data. It tells you what price did in the past. And because we're focusing on structure, we know that price will repeat itself, right, in those structural areas. And so it's very crucial. And this really, in my opinion, makes trading so super easy, right? So super easy that I'm not going to say you don't need indicators, because even though I'm looking at structure, I still have other confirmations before I take the trade. I still do that, and I advise you all to do that as well. And that is when I bring in other indicators to give me that agreement, right? And so you want to use your indicators as confirmations to what you've already identified with structure. That should be the only purpose of your indicators. Now, I am a big advocate and user, and I also teach the trading system that we use is Simplicity Trading System with Super Easy Forex. So if you don't have that system, what I advise you to do is click the link inside of my description and get that system, because it is, in my opinion, the best indicator trading system in the market. It's very accurate. It's very true to price. It respects structure. It does all the heavy lifting for you. And I liken it to training wheels, right? Training wheels. So use that system so that you can be profiting in the market while you're learning and perfecting market structure. Because, hey, if you can trade easy or hard, which would you choose, right? The easy way. So click the link, get your system. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you want some one-on-one time with me where I customize a trading system or trading plan, I should say, for you, just kind of dig into how you think, how you trade, show you, peel the onion back on this market structure stuff. The only reason it seems difficult, honestly, and people say, oh, you know, trading is difficult, is because where they were getting their training from, the way it was taught was difficult. Trading itself is not difficult, but the way it's taught is difficult. And what I learned is that everybody learns differently. Everybody processes information differently. And you have to be able to communicate the information to the way you process it. Does that make sense? And so what I like to do is I like to break things down simple, 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 and easy. And I hope that that resonates with you. And so scheduling a one-on-one time gives you an opportunity to allow me to help you break those things down, okay? So let's get started real quick. Let's get started. So we're looking at Eurgbp on a daily. The first thing that I'm going to be looking for is some form of a pattern, some form of a structure, some form of a trend. So the first thing that I see is a downward move, right? I see a downward move. What about you? Right here. I see a downward move right there, okay? So that right there tells me that we are predominantly in a what? Bearish momentum. We're in a bearish momentum. Now, the very first thing that you want to be able to identify is what the trend is, right? What is the trend on the daily for the Eurgbp? And the trend is bearish, well, so now here's one of the benefits of the simplicity system. Now, the simplicity system is what you're looking at. Oops, no, you're not looking at it yet. Hold on. The simplicity system is what you are now looking at, right? And of course, I took off a lot of the other components of the system. It's a very robust system, but I want naked charting, right? We want to look at price. So I just took a lot of the stuff off and I kept what you see here. And so on the daily Eurgbp, we are bearish. That's the overall trend right now. We are bearish, right? So with that being said, because we are bearish, we look at what price is currently doing, and we're back over here. So what is price currently doing? It is bearish, right? Which would mean that it's in a continuation from the trend, okay? Continuation from the trend. And so now that we're in a continuation, what am I looking at? I'm looking at a possible sale, right? So let's look left and let's see how far did price go on the daily. These are the things that you want to identify. Okay, so price came down there, right? Now remember, when price visits a area at least 2 times, that is a support or resistance area, bona fide, right? Well, I identified this area here because this is what I call a pivot, and that is structure, where price came down and it shot up. It didn't consolidate. It just came down and shot up. So now let us look left and see how many times did price hit this line, right? How many times? Now, I already see with these 2 candles, that's my 2 right there, but let's look and see. Voila, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. So no matter what else happened after this area right here is more than enough confirmation that this is a bona fide support area. Now, because now we know it's a bona fide support area, we know that price will likely have a reaction here, right? Because why? It reacted over here. It reacted right here. When price came down, it hit this bearish candle, hit this line, and guess what? Shot up, right? Price came down here, right? With this line, what did it do? Shot up. Same thing. Hit the line, shot up. Hit the line, shot up, right? Now, this is a daily. The higher the time frame, the stronger the structure. The higher the time frame, the stronger the structure. So this is pretty strong. Now, it doesn't mean that it won't break it. It will eventually break it. And even after it breaks structure, that is always going to be an area that you want to be aware of a potential reaction. And don't just disappear, right? If it's support and resistance, it's always going to be support and resistance. Okay. So, so that's what we're looking at. So we're looking at this area right here. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to identify some more areas where there are structures. See how this came down here, bounced up? I want to note that. I want to identify that, right? So here we go. We got a wick right here on this line. What did it do? Shot up. When did it come back? It came back right here, the wick. And what did it do? It pushed back up. It pushed back up, right? And then it broke out right here. And then it what? Retested and pushed back down. So now support has become resistance. That's even stronger, right? And that's basically what you're going to be doing. Always look for structure and then identify it. Because when you do that, what you're actually doing is identifying your potential take profit as well as stop loss, right? Okay, so we had a wick action here. It pushed down. It broke through, came and retest right there and pushed right back up. Now we have both support and resistance, right? Even stronger. You see some action in here as well. You see some action in here as well, right? And look at where current price is in this area. We reacted to this same line, right? Price came down, wicked it, pushed back up, right? Came down again, this bearish candle, wicked it, pushed back up. Now we're here. Now we're here. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. So my question is, in my mind, when I'm looking at, when I'm analyzing is, where's the potential? We already know that we're bearish, right? How far down will this pair go? Well, we know right here, definitely, right? But we can even go back further. I didn't mean to put that there. We can even go back further to see, right? We have some, look at this area right here, right? This was back in April. Back in April. Is it possible that price can go all the way back down there? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this is when you determine what type of trader you are, right? Are you a swing trader? Because if you were looking at this area, which you wouldn't be wrong, right? Because price will eventually get back here. This would be, in my opinion, a swing trade, right? Me personally, I'm more of an intraday. So I kind of want to be in and out, right? For the most part, I don't want to be in a trade for weeks. I don't. But this is an area that you can consider if you were swinging. I'm not swinging, so I'm not really looking at that. Okay. So now let's look at the pips. So if you was to take this position, a sell, the first TP level, you're looking at 46 pips. This is on the daily. Second TP level, you're looking at 118, 120 some odd pips. Third TP level, 194, 96 pips. That's what you're looking at. Okay. So is this a good position for a sale? Absolutely. One thing I also would say is I do, and I think I mentioned it, but I do use other indicators to confirm what I am looking at from the structural standpoint. These are very key structural areas based on what it did in the past. So from this point, now let's go, we're going to bounce back and forth. So from this point, the close of the candle on Friday to my last area right here, structural area right here, is roughly about 200 pips, right? Roughly about 200 pips. Now I'm going to show you the power of the simplicity trading system and why you just really need to have it. Now I just did that naked charting. Now let's go to the trading system. Let's go to the trading system, the simplicity trading system. Same thing. We're on the daily Eurgbp. Okay, so this is the close of the candle on Friday. Now we have these zones. Let me just show you this. These zones identify supply and demand. It identifies market structure, right? It identifies that. So bear with me one moment. Okay, I'm back. So it identifies structure. These zones here, they are so pivotal. And to me, this is probably one of the strongest, best components of the overall simplicity system. I love it. And so remember, we were roughly about 200 pips from the close of this candle down to where this area right here, which is the area I identified on the other chart. But do you see how the zones identify it as well? So even if you didn't know all of the market structure back stuff or whatever, you could just simply look at the zones and determine where price will go, right? So this now became what? A confirmation to what you've already identified on the naked chart. That's how you effectively use indicators. And this indicator in particular, the Simplicity Trading System, phenomenal. So let's go ahead on and confirm the amount of pips. So from the close of that candle right here to this area right here is, we're on a daily here, that's 1,826. Okay, wait a minute. Let me go back real quick. Let's go back because I must have not saw something. Okay, so from the close of the candle, I'm on the daily, okay? From the close of the candle, oops, down to this area. From the close of the candle down to the area right here is 196 pips, okay? So let's go back. That's 196 pips. I already know what I did wrong. Well, I didn't do it wrong, but it's the pips, the way the pips are not calculated, but the way they show up is different. So from this area right here down here, right, you see it's about right there, about 180,1857. But on MetaTrader 4, you have to put the decimal point between the last two numbers. So that is actually 186 or 88 pips, 186, 188 pips. So roughly we're in the same ballpark, right? So that's what the difference was. So put the decimal point between the last two numbers and that becomes your pip amount. So roughly we're in the same ballpark, right? We're in the same ballpark. So what this system is saying is price is going to get back here. But we already was able to identify that, right? Simply by identifying structure, So what are we looking at here? We're looking at overall on the Euro GBP, it's an overall downtrend. We're downtrend on the daily, Now, what I teach is, entering on the lower time frame, but you definitely want to be in agreement with the overall trend so that you can have a stronger quality winning trade. And it works. Trust me, it does. A lot of this will be discussed and really broken down in our sessions, but for the sake of moving on, let's move on. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for for sales. That's your best position to take, is the sale, okay? And then let us, just like we did on the other system, you do the same thing here. Identify what? Identify some support and resistance, because that becomes your potential take profit. Now, when I identify support and resistance, I in particular look for engulfing candles. And that is why I like this indicator over here on TradingView, because it does that for you, right? So right here, engulfing candle right there, right? Look at this one, engulfing candle, see? Bearish engulfing candle right here. Because more than likely, where you see the engulfing candles, those are going to be areas of support and resistance, right? Because price went up, drop back down, or went down, drop back up, and it's typically around engulfing candle is near. In other words, is near, and you can always go back, and it doesn't matter how far back you go, as long as you have at least two areas where price touched that zone, right? So that's why I like this indicator also. It's really cool, really cool. I'll show you how the trade that the engulfing candles as well. um, as well. So let's move on, okay, because I'll start getting going. All right, let's drop down to our hour. Let's just drop down. I trade to 15, but we're going to just do the hour today. Okay, now, okay, so of course this yellow line is my daily, right? That's my daily trend line. Did price respect it? When you drop down, that's what you're going to ask yourself. Did price respect the trend line? And it does. Because why? It didn't break it. We have no activity above this trend line. So it did not break the trend line. So what does that mean on the hour? It means that we're still trending down, right? We're still trending down, which is in agreement with the daily trend. It's still trending down. And so now what you can do at this point is you can now utilize your entry confirmations. It's very important. You have to have entry confirmations, right? You never just jump in off of one confirmation. No, you have your entry confirmations. You already know what position that you're looking for. You're looking for sales. And now you just simply go through your entry confirmations, right? And one of the confirmations that you can use, let me just give this to you, is again, remember we talked about engulfing candles, right? So the engulfing candle, let me stretch it out so you can see. Now I know that I'm bearish. I know I'm looking for a sale. So now what I can do, one of the things that I can do is I will look for my engulfing candle, a bearish one. Very important, right? Because you're selling. So I do see a bearish engulfing candle here, which is a nice healthy one too. I love the big candles because that's a strong presence of sales in this case, right? So I like that. So what I would do is I'm gonna outline this. I'm going to identify this, right? And what you could do is just put some zeros there, and then your second line put a minus sign so you can carry it to the other side. Put 0 there, and bam. So this area right here between the two darkened areas, those are your zones. Those are your zones that price will come back in here. Can it break through? Yeah, but that's fine. We're not worried about that based on how we're going to trade it. So what I'm doing is I'm saying that, listen, I want price to come up to this area, somewhere in this zone, pick me up, and then take me back down. Why this area? Because we have a bearish engulfing candle. When price came up in this area, it dropped, a bearish candle dropped, making it a bearish engulfing candle. Because bearish and bullish engulfing candles are the strongest reversal candles, what am I expecting to happen when price comes here? I'm expecting for a reversal. I'm expecting for what? For it to drop back down. And that is very key. That's very key. And I'll do more training on that because I'm telling you, when you get that down, game over. Okay, so let's identify another engulfing candle. We see another one right here. So what I'm doing is from the top to the bottom of the smaller candle, not the one that's engulfing it, the smaller one. From the top to the bottom, draw you a nice little rectangle, right? And again, put your little zeros here. Doesn't matter how many. Put a little negative right there so it can carry to the other side. And boom, bam. Now we'd have outlined that zone. So what I'm saying is between here and here, anywhere in here, if price comes, right? Price comes, and what's going to happen, right? What's likely to happen? We got this bearish engulfing candle, and it's not a shabby candle. It's a nice healthy candle as well. So we have a real healthy candle, and we have a nice healthy candle, right? I'm expecting price to push back down. So you have two entry points that you just identified. You have two entry points that you just identified. Now look left though. Look left and look at what price did in relation to the zones. Look what price did in relation to the zones. Okay, stop that. Stop that. Okay. I didn't want to make this video long, and I believe I've already gone over my time. So we just want to wrap up with Eurgbp. Okay, so look at how price respects. Price came up into, well, let's start here. Price came into it, pulled back down, came through, broke out, retested, pushed back up, pushed back up. I can't wait to really break down, break all this stuff down. It's just amazing, right? Market structure. Spend a lot of time with market structure, okay? See how price danced around in the structure? See how price played around in the structure? Didn't break it, played around in the structure, push back, push down, retest it back in the structure, push back. Why do you think that pushback happened? Why do you think that pushback happened? Look at this, right? Why do you think that pushback happened? What do we have? A bearish engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle, right? Coming off of this move here, this supply zone right here. Look at what you have, another bearish engulfing candle. So this was a downward move going on. This was a strong bearish move going on, right? So if we were here at the time, I will be looking for sales, right? Why? I have my bearish engulfing candle at the high, right? Supply area. And excuse me, I'll be looking to take that down. I'll be looking to take that down, right? And I will only be looking for sales. So that now you would have times where you're going to have bullish engulfing candles as well, right? But what are you looking for? You're looking for whatever the trend is. So if the trend is bearish, then you're looking for sales, and vice versa if it's bullish, okay? Despite the fact that you're going to have the, both here and there, you're going to have that. But what happened? Bearish engulfing, push back down. Came back into the zone, right? Didn't break out, pushed out, came back up, right? So I can break all that stuff down. We can go on and on with that. Right now on the hour, what are we looking for? We're still looking for what? Sales. So I will put my sell limit right here, saying when price comes here, guess what? Go ahead on and put me in, take me down. Take you down to what area? Actually, take you down to this area, right? You can just play the zones. Take you down to this area. From the top of that area to the bottom of this area is roughly about 21 pips, right? Can you go further? Absolutely, you can go further. Because guess what? You got a big old bullish engulfing candle right here. Always outline it so that you can see what's going on. So what we're going to do is we are going to outline the candle that's being engulfed, which is the smaller of the two candles. We're going to outline that, right? So we can see now. So now what I can do is I can put my limit order here, my sell limit order here, and I can take it down to this area right here, to this area right here. What am I expecting to happen when price gets here? I'm expecting for price to do what? Push back up. Push back up, right? So yeah, that's what you can do. That's what you can do. And all of this with market structure. And there's no different on our simplicity. The only difference is you have the indicators that's going to help you along. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if we go to our hour on here, we're looking at, this is our trend line from the daily, okay? And we're basically going to be doing the same thing. Identify your support and resistance. Those are your potential take profit. This right here, where are we? Okay, so right in here, so sometimes you'll find some slight differences from your MetaTrader 4 to your TradingView, and the brokers are different, price points are different. And the reason I say that is because on the other chart, this was a bullish candle. This was a bullish candle. However, on the MetaTrader 4, it's a bearish candle. It's a bearish candle. And so, it's good to use both, right? It's good to use both. I would still consider this one. I would still be looking at this area, put it like that. I would still be looking at this area because it's in the supply zone. It's in that area of the supply zone. So I know price had to go up. This was a strong move up, right? And then it closed as a bearish. It closed as a bearish. But I will still be considering this one for my reversal because of the strong move up. This wick tells me this was a nice aggressive move, which was bullish, right? And then it not only closed bearish, but look at the body of it. Look at the body. The body is just a sliver. So this is a strong bullish presence, is what I would, you know, assess it to be. So I will still be looking at this area for my my sell limit area, right? I'll be looking at this area as well for my sell limit area. And I'll be looking at this area down in here for my my take profit. You can take your profit down in here, right? You can take your profit here if you wanted to. All of this is structure. All of this is structure. Now, when price gets into the demand zone, right? We know that now what buyers are going to start to come in. Buyers are going to start to come in, right? So we should expect to see more what bullish activity. That is why you want to take your profit at that point, right? Don't wait. Take your profit and be done. So hopefully that has given you some insight. I know I was going to do CAD, actually. I was going to do CAD JPY. Not going to do it. Video too long already. But my next video, I'll certainly drop CAD JPY. So if you got some value, like, share, comment, definitely subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next training video. Bye-bye.